Hi there, it's Mike Farrell here with aspenIbiz. When the weather's nice, I like to dress casual and work outside. So I've just stepped out of my home office up here in the mountains of Colorado to bring you this update. In today's update, I'm going to introduce you to some items found on the surface of the earth. While more common than, or more prevalent than gold and silver, they're still called the rare earths. Without them, there would be no alternative energy industry, there'd be no space industry, and the modern high-tech lifestyle that we live, we just wouldn't have. If you control these rare earths, you're going to be able to control the energy, technology, and economy of the 21st century. And as Steve Forbes likes to say, obtaining increased financial education will raise our financial literacy, and the resulting empowerment will open our eyes to alternative wealth-creating opportunities. And this will be the key to resolving this financial crisis that's underway. So, in that spirit, if you'll stay with me for a couple minutes, I'll briefly introduce you to these rare earths. I'll build upon why they're key to the energy, technology, and economy of the 21st century. And I'll highlight a demand-supply imbalance that's being played out between Denver here in the United States, Western Australia, and the Middle Kingdom. And it's creating potential alternative wealth-creating opportunities. So let's begin. What are these rare earths? Well, if you think back to when you were in high school and studied chemistry, there was a periodic table, and there were 15 items on this periodic table called the lanthanides. And they had such names as europium, lanthanum, cadmium, molybdenum, and about 11 other names that are hard to pronounce. While these items are scattered around the surface of the earth, it's difficult and it's very rare to find them in deposits that are significant enough to make the economics associated with mining, milling, and processing be cost effective. And as mentioned earlier, they are the keys to our future alternative energy industry, to the space industry, and to our modern high-tech lifestyle that we live today. And we're as addicted as much to those rare earths for those industries as we are to oil. And until recently, the only people that were interested in studying these elements were masters and PhD level chemists and solid-state physicists, and of course, the national leaders of China. So why are these rare earths key to the energy, technology, and economy of the 21st century? Well, without these rare earths, we would not have much of an alternative energy industry, because we would not have any magnets, which are necessary for the next generation wind turbines, which would be a key part of the wind farms to generate the electricity that we envision being able to use. And we'd have no batteries for the hybrid electric cars that we all envision being able to drive as we zip down the freeway. Without these rare earths, we'd say goodbye to space launches and the space industry, for we'd have no magnets for miniaturized guidance systems. We'd have no titanium or ceramics that necessary for lightweight rocket engines and nose cones. And at a minimum, we'd have no weather satellites, and therefore our weather monitoring and weather forecasting would decline. And from a consumer point of view, we'd have no navigation systems for our cars, because there'd be no no global positioning satellites. And without these rare earths, we'd have our modern high-tech lifestyle would go away, for there'd be no plasma screens for high-definition TVs, no iPods, no cell phones, no digital cameras, and no ultrascan, because the medical imaging devices would not exist. With this background, now let's try to understand the demand-supply imbalance that's creating these alternative wealth-creating opportunities. So let's go back to the Middle Kingdom, which is China. Deng Xiaoping, who was the ruler of China in the 1980s, 1990s, he said, while there is oil in the Middle East, there are rare earths in China. And Jiang Zemin, the leader in 1999, took a visit to the rare earth mother lode in Mongolia. And as a result of what he saw, he declared a national goal for economic superiority for China to be able to leverage their rare earths. And as a result, there are now over 15,000 PhD level Chinese people working in the most modern rare earth facilities on the planet. And unfortunately, we have none of those here in the United States. And currently, China is producing 95% of the world's supply of rare earths. And as they are developing their middle class and consuming more and more of these rare earths to support the modern high-tech lifestyle, as well as alternative energy, as well as their space industry, they're exporting less. And so they're trying to control the market through acquisition and trade practices, and I'll have more on that in just a minute. However, if you want access to the rare earths that are in China, they'll be happy to sell them to you. It's just that you have to set up your manufacturing facility that will actually use these rare earths, which will then, of course, provide jobs to the emerging middle class in China. So now here's where the drama associated with the demand-supply imbalance gets interesting. Molycorp is a company based here in Denver. It owns the only mine in the United States, which just happens to have the highest grade or the highest quality of rare earths on the planet. It's located in Mountain Pass, California, which is east of Palm Springs, out close to the Nevada-Arizona border. However, it's just a mine. All the processing that they do, it has to be done offshore. In 2005, China attempted to purchase Unocal, which is United Oil Company of California, allegedly for the oil, but many believes that this was just a smokescreen because at that time Unocal owned Molycorp, and it's believed that China really wanted access to the only deposit of rare earths in the United States. Also, these minerals are very toxic, and at times the environmentalists are hovering around threatening to action against Molycorp associated with their mine. Now, let's move to Australia. Recently, meaning within the last couple months, there has been a find which is believed to be the largest deposit of rare earths on the planet. And it's out in Western Australia, Mount Weld in Western Australia. And that mine is owned by Lynas Corporation, which is located in Sydney, Australia. Shortly thereafter, China made an offer to purchase a majority stake of Lynas Corporation. However, just in the past few days, the Financial Review Investment Board in Australia made a decision that no company or country can own any of the deposits or companies that own the deposits in Australia of these rare earths. And they've declared these rare earths as a strategic national resource. So hopefully, with this drama between the United States, Australia, and China over the rare earths that are key to our energy technology and economy of the 21st century, I've illustrated why we need to continue our education and keep our eyes open to alternative wealth-creating opportunities. In a previous article, I introduced the 5 E's framework as a way to kind of understand the magnitude and drivers of change that's underway and causing the turmoil and churn in our economy. And one of the 5 E's was the transfer of wealth and power from the west to the east that's underway. And this example with the rare earths is just a perfect example of that kind of transfer of wealth and power from the west to the east. So when you get a chance, you can go to my blog to read about these rare earths. And there's also a pointer to the article that provides you more insight as to what these rare earths are, their various uses, and some of the monopolistic and trade practices that are being attempted by China as they attempt to be in the driver's seat with respect to the energy technology and economy of the 21st century. I trust that you'll find this all very insightful. And until next time, I invite you to meet me on Facebook, follow me on my blog, you can watch me on my YouTube channel, and join me in my venture as I increase my financial literacy and pursue alternative wealth-creating opportunities that generate multiple income streams. The URLs for all these sites are listed on the screen. And in closing, as always, here's to your success.